It was hard. Star. Hey, what do you think about it? What's happening? Oh, goodness. Star. Yeah. Come on, little guy, don't give up. Come on. Come on. It's working. So it takes them quite a while to hatch out. You're not supposed to help them. You can tell this one's very tired from all the work it had to do to get out of its egg. This one's just working away. It'll be out soon. Hi guys, so I was just thinking about something after the ducks had hatched, and I just wanted to share this with you really quick. And I just wanted to so I bought the incubator that I hatched these duckies in, and the first thing that I hatched out was chickens, some baby chicks. And I had told Jessie, I was like, you know, wouldn't it be super fun to hatch out some of Mr. and Mrs. Duck's eggs? I was like, the problem is we never get any eggs. We never get duck eggs. Mrs. Duck, she just doesn't lay a lot of eggs. I mean, it is very sporadic. Like, we may get like just a couple of eggs a month, and it's just very, very random. So in order to incubate eggs, they cannot be, a month old. Really, they're not supposed to be more than a week old in order to get a good hatch rate. I was like, I would just love to have little Mr. and Mrs. Ducks, but I just can't imagine how that's going to be possible because she never lays eggs. I was like, that would just be so fun though, because Jessie and I both are we're really attached to Mr. and Mrs. Duck. I know I'm supposed to be like the crazy chicken lady, but I really love ducks. That was actually our first pet that Jessie and I ever had when we got married. We lived in Kentucky, and we had 5 little ducks. They each had their own little kiddie swimming pool. It was really fun. We just loved those ducks. So we've just always had ducks have always had a special place in our heart. So, bless it, it's gonna go to sleep. So I said, like the day before the chicks hatched, it was right around that same time, I would love to incubate duck eggs. I wonder if I could even just buy some somewhere, because we all know Mrs. Duck is never gonna lay enough eggs to fool with the incubator. So then, like the very next day, when I went outside to gather eggs, there was a duck egg. And the next day, another egg. And the next day, and this went on for almost 2 weeks. I think I had 12 eggs, and a couple of them got cracked along the way. So I was able to put 10 duck eggs in the incubator. This is the first time, and I've had this duck for over a year, that she has ever laid consistently every single day. And after that, after I finished gathering the last few eggs, and the day I started the incubator, that next day, there was no more duck eggs. And I don't think that I have found any since then. So, little ducky's running away here. So I just wanted to share this with you because to me, it was just such a good little reminder. It was a reminder that God's always listening, and sometimes it's the smallest little things that no one else would even know. No one else would pay any attention to the fact that I had duck eggs except for me and Jessie, because we know that our duck just doesn't usually lay eggs ever. And it was, to me, it was just a really good little encouragement, and it was it was just a really special little blessing to the very next day after we said, man, we would really love to be able to hatch Mr. and Mrs. Duck's eggs and know that it was their babies. The very next day, we started finding duck eggs, and we were able to incubate them, and that's where these came from. And I just wanted to remind you guys to always be aware of the little things that are going on around you, and to always be thankful and take note for when God does send those little special blessings your way. I call them more like love notes from God. I feel like these little ducklings are just like a little love note from God, reminding me that He hears the desires of my heart, even when they're little and simple and they're meaningless to anyone else. But He cares for me, and He loves me, and He loves you too. And I'm sure that if you take time to slow down, pay attention to the things around you, you might be surprised at how many times there's little things that happen in your life that actually came from God, just wanting to send you a small little blessing your way to remind you how much He loves you, and like a little love note in your lunchbox that you weren't expecting, that He's thinking of you. He listens to you. He hears what you want. He hears what you need, and so that's what I've just been thinking of when I see these little ducks. Is they were just a special little unexpected blessing. I'm very thankful for them, and yeah, so I hope that you will pay attention to the things that are going on around you too, and give thanks whenever something small like this happens to you too. I always think of the Bible verse that if we who are parents, we know how to give good gifts, and we love to give good gifts to our kids, and that's kind of my love language. I love to give gifts, and I love to just surprise my kids with little small things. Doesn't have to be anything big. How much more The verse says, if we like to give our kids gifts, imagine how much more God likes to give us good gifts, because He's a way better Father than we are. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. It was just a special, extra little blessing. Hope you guys have a good day. Blessings, so cute. Love you. Say bye.